welcome back, Regina Miller. We're back again interviewing, and wow, have I got a surprise for you. Not only did we promise rock stars, we brought the men, the legends, Paul Jenkins, Bob Carter. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us here.
All right.
I was going to say, now I've let it in, they have to make sure it's a great interview.
Yes, we do.
All right, fantastic. Well, first, what we're asking everyone is, can you both actually say kind of, what are you doing right now, what are you known for?
Okay. Go ahead, Paul.
I can't speak specifically about a couple of the projects I'm working on, but what I can say is that I'm working on the development of 3 television shows right now, so that's one thing. I am usually writing a comic book here and there because I like building out my intellectual property. So I'm on a couple of comics right now. I am creatively directing a game and about to start another one. So that's why I have lines under my eyes. And even though I'm 23 years old, I have grey hair on my beard.
I love it. I love it.
I thought it was just dyed hair.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes.
Bob, what are you up to these days?
Well, let's see. Obviously, still doing video games, still on the air broadcasting. As far as what I'm actively working on that I can talk about, I can talk about the fact that we've got a great audio drama that we're producing from the neighborhood studio, The Eye, theimnypd.com. Imagine if all the various cultures that came to America brought their cultural mythologies with them, and those mythologies were real. It's a brilliant concept. It's theimnypd.com. It's an amazing audio drama, and we've got 10 episodes in, and we've already got over like 4.5 million listens. As of episode 8, we had over 4 million. So I'm sure that we've got much more than that over these last 2 episodes, and we're actively trying to get it funded right now and/or sold. But we want to do the animation here in Atlanta. But we've got top-notch talent, like real actors. This is going to be it's a SAG-AFTRA project, so I'm very proud of it. The writing is brilliant. It's original. It's all done right here. So The Eye is something that we were producing from the neighborhood. We've also got a couple of video games that we're working on as well.
Yes.
Can't speak to those because of NDA issues and that sort of thing. Also, a couple of independent films that we're working on as well. We just shot one called Kidnapping Amy Adams. We've got another one that we're about to film in November. And then, of course, we're still the teaching side of the studio, so we're helping aspiring creatives become working creatives. And I am a proud papa because I've got a long list of talents that are booking, so on the commercial side, but now they're starting to book video games. They're also starting to book animation projects, and I love seeing them here at SIEGE.
I was going to say, and as you can see, like the crowd is building behind us as
yes,
it goes.
as a matter of fact. It's perfect. So honestly, one of the things that I'm excited about, and that I'm specifically looking for here at SIEGE, those 2 video games that we're working on. Last year I pitched one, it was successfully accepted, and so now I'm in the development stage of that, the coding side, and then I've got this other game idea that we're working on, and now we're in the script phase, and then we're about to get it start pitching that one as well. But those are the things that you learn about here at SIEGE.
Sure. Thank you so much.
It's always
You
nice
never
to
know
have,
what's going to happen on live
nice to have
stream.
someone come in on the job.
Ever.
You know, that guy's a
There's only an interview
plant.
going on. That's okay, he wanted his 15 seconds.
It's all good.
So sorry.
You're fine. No worries. So actually, gentlemen, so before you were famous,
Okay.
who was Paul? Who was Bob? How did you guys break into this industry?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I'm about to give the hardest and most complicated answer you've ever heard so far.
I love it.
So I'm actually writing, and one of the shows I'm making is actually a little bit based on my life story, but it's a story that people don't know. Most people assume, I created the origin of Wolverine for Marvel, I created original material for God of War, I've done 7 or 8 platinum selling video games, I have done this and that. Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja
Just that little project. Yeah.
So I've been honest about what people would never know about me is that my family are all travelers, and I grew up on a farm with no electricity. My family to this day, my brother lives on the land in a caravan with no electricity by choice.
Really?
And so I was the poorest child from the poorest family of anyone that I've ever met. And my dad, when he left when I was 5, left us in a tough situation. So I had to learned how to do things like snare rabbits and how to steal stuff and how to be basically a pikey. I grew up that way, didn't want it, and at 11 years old I won a scholarship to a school and went away from my family, and I've never lived with them since. And at the age of 20 years old, I came to the United States of America with $50, and I met the people that created the Ninja Turtles, and so I had that career. But I made that happen for myself, and nobody understands that that's actually my life. So the question of how do you break into the business and how do you is a difficult one for me, because I broke in the only way that you cannot. I came to the United States, met a couple of guys that had a black and white comic book, said, hey, I understand you sold it as a toy in a TV show. I was a musician at the time. How about I come work with you? And it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it exploded.
Wow.
And then after a few years of that, you know, I was the director of a publishing company when I was 23, 24 years old. And then by the time that happened, the next thing I knew, I thought, well, I was actually an editor to some people that you may know, like Neil Gaiman and Alan Moore and all of that. I was their editor, and so I learned from them, and I thought I can do that. So I broke into comic books the only way you cannot. I went to San Diego Comic Con. I met the editors of Hellblazer, and which is the preeminent sort of, for professionals, that's the book everyone wants to write, John Constantine.
Right.
And I asked the editor, well, I hear you look for a new writer. Can I write a tryout? And they had people like Warren Ellis trying out for it, 25 people apparently. He said, what have you written? I said, well, I've never actually written anything before, but can I have a go? And they said, okay. And 6 weeks later, they called me and said, you're the new writer of Hellblazer.
Wow.
So my career path is a completely unique and complicated sort of trajectory.
It's really its own animal.
Yeah, it's its own animal, but the only thing that I was just on a panel today at SIEGE, and one of the things that was said with every single person on the panel, you know this, is that the thing that makes it happen is hard work and self-belief.
Right.
And so as a child, I have an anecdote, a thing that happened to me. I walked up a hill, and I was about 8 years old. I was miserable. My mum was gone. My dad's gone completely. My brother's all over the place. And I walked into this barley field. It was really beautiful, and I was right by an oast house with all the hops and the hazelnut trees and the cherry trees. And I lay on my back, and I decided there and then, I'm not going to be like that.
I've done it twice now.
That's right. I did all of that twice, see? My whole life.
Twice.
Timing is everything. Remember this.
So, it's such a unique trajectory.
So you were laying on the field and you said
I
what?
lay on the ground in the field, looked at the sky and said, I'm not going to be like my family. So I became the white sheep of this family travels.
Yeah.
The way you just said
Vikings.
that
I know.
resonates with me. It's really interesting. I have a question for you as well. Ordinarily, I don't like to talk about this sort of thing, but I mean, you were being very real and very open, and just so you know, you're giving me chills.
Exactly.
I said from a very young age, I'm not going to be like my father.
Yeah.
My father was a dysfunctional alcoholic. My parents broke up because my dad would drink and then he'd get very abusive, and my parents thought it was absolutely a horrible thing. My mom was one of the strongest people that I ever knew, and so, I mean, especially being mixed, you know what I mean, having to deal with, I was born in California, but I was very fortunate to always have a very good, diverse group of friends and different cultures in my circles. And then growing up in that regard, it's always been really fun and very beneficial for me. But my father was an extremely charismatic person. I get my charm from my dad. He was also extremely manipulative. And unfortunately, I mean, he used a lot of different people, but you know, he had that gift of gab, that silver tongue, and he was just a user and just filled with BS. Now, again, I am known for having a big, bold personality, for being one of the largest.
You are?
Yeah, I wonder.
I actually thought you were trying to come out of your shell.
Yes,
honestly.
exactly. Yeah, but in this case, I get my charisma and my charm from my father, but I always swore I was going to use that for a good purpose, right? I mean, growing up, I was a fan of Superman. To be that good for that long, I mean, it takes effort, right? And so, Superman, Captain America, those were my idols. The X-Men growing up. So, like, I loved comics. I used my imagination as a way to escape from, you know, the different trials and tribulations of reality. Exactly. So I developed my imagination from a very young age, and then of course growing up, because I loved making people happy. I never wanted my mom to be sad, so I would always do what I could to cheer her up, and so of course I loved comedy and really did everything I could to try to cheer people up around me and always motivate people and bring them up rather than press them down and bring them down or try to like manipulate them or again establish dominance. So I've always been a big believer in anytime I'm somewhere, I always try to elevate people, right? Motivate, educate, and empower. We can talk about Naval Academy stuff, we can talk about like as far as that goes, but as far as where I am right now, I've got to say my passion has always been games, gaming, stories, right? Stories, it's storytelling, it's exactly. So discovering Dungeons and Dragons from a very young age and having that outlet, that escape, and then of course fueling my imagination, discovering improvisational comedy as well in college, and then following that, being on, honestly getting into radio was also very good. Again, music, right? Music is such an escape for so many people. It's very good. So I used music, got into broadcasting, that of course got me into different circles as far as animation goes and video games. So my question for you, given your background and your history, where did you get your imagination from? Because the stuff that you've written about is phenomenal. And I mean, I'm a fan of yours, just so you know. So, and I know how important imagination is and storytelling is. So where did that come from for you?
All right, so you're about to hear an anecdote that no one's ever heard before, so in public. As a child, I used to know how to snare rabbits. I used to, and one of the things was not having my dad there. He left when I was 5. I spent my time around a lot of the gypsy kids, like the kids. So my brother and I walked to school because we didn't have enough money to pay for the bus fare. We had two miles to go, and we made it there every day. On the way though, that sounds bad, but on the way we would have stoats and weasel pelts, and we would see everything foxes. We lived in this country. So there was an old guy called Tom. He's appeared in a lot of my writing, and Tom wanted me to be a contraband. The gypsies would steal meat off the farmer, and then they would bring it to my mum. My mum would make it with pies, and then we would get fed. So we had this whole kind of thing going on, and Tom would teach me things, and he would say basically, let me show you. So in Britain we have a thing called a stinging nettle. If you rub up against it, it brings you out in these welts. But the gypsies know if you grab it, that it will basically it won't sting you because you basically crush the microscopic poison barbs that are on there. Why do swallows fly high in winter? I know even to this day, right? They fly high because they go up, the insects go up on the currents and all this. So one night there was a profound thing that Tom did. My mum woke me up. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. It was the middle of winter, and there was snow on the ground in Britain, which is not always the case. And Tom was there at the front door for me. And so he said, okay, we're going out to meet a boy. And so in gypsy lore, the sacred animal and the sacred person is the badger. They know that the badger is the king of the forest, and you will never in your lifetime, you'll never meet anyone who has seen a European badger because they are not seen. And what happens is the farmer usually kills the badger because the farmer thinks the badger actually kills the chickens, but it's usually the farmer's bloody dog, right? And so the gypsies keep the badger safe, and they will not let anyone know where the badger is. And I was being taken to meet the badger. So when they allow you to meet their boss, the boy, that's when you belong to something that you never belonged to before.
So,
right, I know we've got to wrap it up for the keynote, right? We've got the keynote address. Sure.
But before we go out, I want to thank you guys for actually opening up in a way that was so awesome. Do not go away. I know y'all wanted to hear more. You're just going to have to join us again because we will have these gentlemen back, and they will continue their stories. But for now, we're going to head to the keynote.
Absolutely.
We appreciate everyone being here, and it is not a boss battle. Not a boss battle. Let's try that again. Not a boss battle. These gentlemen, they are like a boss. I will hashtag like
Definitely
a boss.
a boss.
We're taking it to the keynote. Thank you guys.